صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعد الفرد. اللهم إني أسألك برحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء، بقوتك التي قهرت بها كل شيء وخضع لها كل شيء وذللها كل شيء، وبجبروتك التي غلبت بها كل شيء، وبعزتك التي لا يقوم لها شيء، وبعظمتك التي ملأت كل شيء، وبسلطانك الذي على كل شيء، وبوجهك الباقي بعد فناء كل شيء، وبأسمائك التي ملأت أركان كل شيء، وبعلمك الذي أحاط بكل شيء، وبنور وجهك الذي أضاء له كل شيء. يا نور يا قدوس
يا نور يا قدوس يا نور قدوس.
يا أول الأولين ويا آخر الآخرين، اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تهتك العصم، اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل النقم، اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تغير النعم، اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء، اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تقطع الرجاء، اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل البلاء، اللهم اغفر لي كل ذنب أذنبته وكل خطيئة أخطأتها. اللهم إني أتقرب إليك بذكرك وأستشفع بك إلى نفسك وأسألك بجودك أن تغنيني من قربك وأن توزعني من شكرك وأن تلهمني ذكرك. يا اللهم إني أسألك سؤال خاضع متذلل خاشع أن تسامحني وترحمني وتجعلني باسمك راضيا قانعا وفي جميع الأحوال متواضعا. اللهم وأسألك سؤال من اشتدت فاقته وانزل بك عند الشدائد حاجته وعظم فيما عندك رغبته. اللهم عظم سلطانك وعلى مكانك وخفي مكرك وظهر أمرك وغلب قهرك وجرت قدرتك ولا يمكن الفرار من حكومتك. اللهم لا أجد لذنوب غافرا ولا لقبائح ساترا ولا لشيء من عمل قبيح بالحسن مبدلا غيرك. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك وبحمدك ظلمت نفسي ظلمت
نفسي
وتجرأت بجهلي وسكنت إلى قديم ذكرك لي ومنك علي. اللهم مولاي كم من قبيح سترته وكم من فادح من البلاء يقيته وكم من قتال وقيته وكم من مكروه دفعته وكم من ثناء جميل لست أهلا له نشرته. اللهم عظم بلائي وفرط بي سوء حالي وقصرت بي أعمالي وقعدت بي أغلالي وحبسني عن نفعي بعد آمالي وخدعتني الدنيا بغرورها ونفسي بخيانتها ومقالي. يا سيدي فأسألك بعزتك أن لا يحجب عنك دعائي سوء عملي وفعالي ولا تفضحني بخفي ما اطلعت عليه من سري، ولا تعاجلني بالعقوبة على ما عملته في خلواتي من سوء فعلي وإساءتي ودوام تفريطي وجهالتي وكثرة شهواتي وغفلتي. وكن اللهم من عزتك لي في كل الأحوال رؤوفا، وعلي في جميع الأمور عطوفا. إلهي وربي من لغيرك أسأله كشف ضري والنظر في أمري. إلهي ومولاي أجريت علي حكما اتبعت فيه هوى نفسي، ولم أحترس فيه من تزيين عدوي، فغرني بما أهوى وأسعده على ذلك القضاء، فتجاوزت بما جرى علي من ذلك بعد حدودك، وخالفت بعد أوامرك، فلك الحجة على في جميع ذلك، ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي فيه قضاؤك، وألزمني حكمك وبلاؤك. وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي، معتذرا نادما منتصرا مستقيلا مستغفرا منيبا مقرا مذعنا معترفا، لا أجد مفرا من مكانه ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري غير قبولك عذري وإدخالك إياي في سعة من رحمتك. اللهم فاقبل قدري وارحم شدة ضري وفكني من شد وثاقي. يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني، يا رب ورقة جلدي ودقة عظمي، يا من بدأ خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبري وتغذيتي، هرني لابتداء كرمك وسال ببرك بي. يا إلهي وسيدي وربي، أتراك معذبي بنارك بعد توحيدك، وبعد ما انقضى عليه قلبي من معرفتك، ولهج به لساني من ذكرك، وقد دمي من حبك، وبعد من صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيتك. هيهات أنت أكرم من أن تضيع من ربيته، أو تبعد من أدنيته، أو تجرد من آويته، أو تسلم إلى البلاء من كفيته ورحمته. وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي، أتسلط النار على وجوه خر في عظمتك ساجدة، وعلى ألسن نطقت بتوحيدك الصادقة وبشكرك مادحة، وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققة، وعلى ضمائر حوت من العلم بك حتى صارت خاشعة، وعلى جوارها سعت إلى وطن تعبدك طائعة، وأشارت باستغفارك مذعنة. ما هكذا الظن بك ولا أخبرن بفضلك عنك، يا كريم يا رب، يا كريم يا كريم. وأنت تعلم الضعف القليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها، وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها، على أن ذلك بلاء مكروه قليل مكسور، يسير بقاؤه قصير مدته، فكيف احتمال لبلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها، وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه ولا يخفف عن أهله، لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك، وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض. يا سيدي فكيف بي وأنا عبدك الضعيف والذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين. يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو، ولما منها أضج وأبكي، لأليم العذاب وشدته، أم لطول البلاء ومدته. فلئن صيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائي، وجمعت بيني وبين أهل بلائك، وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فهبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي، صبرت على عذابك فكيف أصبر على فراقك، وهبني صبرت على حر نارك فكيف أصبر على النظر إلى كرامتك، أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجائي عفوك. فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا، لئن تركتني ناطقا لأضجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج الآمنين، ولا أصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين، ولا أبكين عليك بكاء الفاقدين، ولا أنادينك حين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين، يا غاية آمال العارفين، يا غياث المستغيثين.
يا المستغيثين، يا المستغيثين.
يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين، ويا إله العالمين، أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفته، وذاق طعم عذابها بمعصيته، وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريرته، وهو يدج إليك تجيد مؤمل لرحمتك، ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك، ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك. يا مولاي فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك، أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك، أم كيف يحرقه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه، أم كيف يشتمل عليه زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفه، أم كيف يتقلقل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقه، أم كيف تزجره زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا ربه، أم كيف يرجو فضلك في قطه منها فتتركه فيها. هيهات ما ذلك الظن بك، ولا المعروف من فضلك، ولا مشبه لما عملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك. فباليقين أقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاحديك، وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك، ولجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما، وما كان لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما، لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين، وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين، وأنت جل ثناؤك قلت مبتدئا وتقولت بالإنعام متكرما، أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون. إلهي وسيدي فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي حكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها، أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته، وكل ذنب أذنبته، وكل قبيح أسررته، وكل جهل عملته، كتمته أو أعلنته، أخفيته أو أظهرته، وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يقول مني، وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جواره، فكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم، وبرحمتك أخفيته وبفضلك سترته، وأن توفر حظي من كل خير تنزله أو إحسان تفضله أو بر تنشره أو رزق تبسطه أو ذنب تغفره أو خطأ تستره يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي مالك رقي يا من بيده ناصيتي يا عليما بضري ومسكنتي يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب أسألك بحقك وقدسك وأعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي في الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورة وبخدمتك موصولة وأعمالي عندك مقبولة حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا وحالي في خدمتك السرمدة يا سيدي يا من عليه معولي يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب أوي على خدمتك جوارحي واجدل على العزيمة جوانحي وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك حتى أسرح إليك في ميادين السابقين وأسرع إليك في المبادرين وأشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين وأخافك مخافة الموقنين وأجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرده ومن كادني فكده واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك واجعل وأقربهم منزلة منك وأخصهم زلفة لديك فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك وجد لي بجودك وبعطف علي بمجدك واحفظني برحمتك واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا وقلبي بحبك متيما ومن علي بحسن إجابتك وقلي عثرتي واغفر زلتي فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك وأمرتهم بدعائك وضمنت لهم الإجابة وإليك يا ربي نسبت وجهي وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي وبلغني منايا ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي يا سريع الرضا اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء فإنك فعال لما تشاء يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء وسلاحه البكاء يا سابع النعم يا دافع النقم يا نور المستوحشين في الظلم يا عالما لا يعلم صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل بي ما أنت أهله وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا
صل على محمد وآل محمد. That was for home as well. When no one announced anything.
I was not told that it was for me.
Send it to me and then all these people. I mean, someone told me she, her sister-in-law's her brother.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Please say the Lord Salawat.
Allah.
Before I invite Sayyid for the speech, just a couple of quick announcements. There is a workshop on December 18th and 19th. The registration deadline is December 14th. It's Death in Berser, a deeper look with shared West Time. You can register at mizaninstitute.org. Tonight's sponsor is Sister Nazli. These recites are there for the Marhumin on Monument of Zahra, Yo Marhumin, Amir Ali, Wajid Ali, Kishwar Wajid, Zumarad Wajid, Muzammil Hussain, Rubina Wajid, Ali Hussain. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Yes. Now the plus audience.
Maybe I need the cable to connect it to it. Or does it show? Oh, yeah, does it show? Yeah. Camera here as well. Yeah, that does it.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. صلى على محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة لأعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. We ask Allah, inshallah, accept all our amal, our du'as, our prayers, inshallah, and reward all of us for our presence tonight in this majlis, inshallah. Night of Jumu'ah. May Allah send thawab and bisharat, inshallah, to the soul of all marhumin and marhumat from the community. Marhum Amir Ali, son of Wajid Ali as well, inshallah, will be included in our dua. Rahimallah man yaqra'u al-fatihata ma'a as-salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Alhamdulillah for the tawfiq. Once again, we are together. May Allah make, inshallah, this gathering beneficial, educationally, spiritually, for dunya wal akhirat of all of us, inshallah. As you're aware, alhamdulillah, we are following the course of history of Islam, and we are studying the era of the era of the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam. And from the beginning, we came all the way to different, sections of the history of Rasulullah. We are actually in the 3rd of Hijri, and we mentioned one of the most important, events that happened in the 3rd of Hijri was the Battle of Uhud. As we mentioned before as well, when you look at the life of this Ma'sumin, the Rasulullah himself and Ahl Bayt, we should look at it holistically from the beginning to the end. When you look at the life of Ahlul Bayt, the same thing. Imam Hussein is not only Imam Hussein of Karbala. Imam Hassan the same. Imam Sadiq, Imam Ba, all of them. So we need to, one of the ways that we learn fiqh is Sirah Rasulullah. What did he do? What did he say? Qawl of Rasulullah, the amal of Rasulullah is for us hujjah. What he does is hujjah for us. Once we receive it authentically, we know 100%. He prayed this way. He acted this way. He did the Hajj this way. The amal of Rasulullah is hujjat. Amalan, and purposely we have to follow that. Right? So when we say that from the beginning to the end, we don't say only Rasulullah in masjid we should follow. Huh? No, Rasulullah in his house, what happens we have to follow. Rasulullah outside, Rasulullah in the battle, doesn't matter, right? So it's all educational aspects for us, and we have to learn from it. Rasulullah in the, sorrow, in the happiness, in difficulties in life, in the turbulences of life, when something happened to Ummah, how he reacted and what he did, and what we need to learn from them as well, right? Therefore, because we're doing the analytical and we're analyzing the history, it's not just narrating the history. We need to learn this when we talk about a battle of Uhud, one of the most important event of the 3rd of Hijri. When I narrate these things for you, you go ahead of me. Don't think about just a piece of history. Think about it. We mentioned in the Battle of Uhud that first Muslims were, winning, and because of an issue and negligence of some of the Muslims, they lost the battle. Right? This was something we talked about in the last sessions, because Rasulullah told them that was a strategic area, that Rasulullah, it was a hill. Rasulullah, he put 50 people of the soldiers, archers on that hill, if you remember, and he told them, do not leave here, no matter what. But as soon as they saw that they are winning, so they came down against the order of Rasulullah. Quran says, do not disobey Rasulullah. They disobeyed, then the whole thing's changed and they lost the battle, brutally lost the battle. We're going to explain more. So we mentioned, the number of soldiers, what happened. Okay. So the number of, the soldiers, 3,000, 4,000 in front of, let's say, 1,000 people that they came out, right? So this is a tragedy happened to all Muslims. This is something that we talked about in the last session, just for a reminder, for those who are not here. And, something that happened to people at that time. So moving forward, inshallah, for this section. Again, the whole picture is that first, when they were winning the battle, so they thought that, okay, so the enemies are running away. So they started getting distracted. They got distracted. We showed, if you remember, the hills last session as well. When they got distracted, the enemy actually came from behind and attacked them while they were looking for whatever they were looking for and grabbing whatever they wanted to grab. So the enemies attack from behind, of course, now from behind and from the front, they're being attacked by the enemies. When that happens, the Muslims started running away. And we mentioned that the enemies started, circling the rumors that Muhammad is killed. Muhammad is killed. So when the chief commander, if is killed, the army is scattered, of course, right? So the enemies started running away. I want you to think about it. Sorry, the Muslims. Except few of them, the most authentic, we mentioned less than 10 people. Everybody else ran away. All the big names that come to your mind, they all ran away. And Rasulullah left with few people. Some of them, Rasulullah is telling them, brother, I'm here, come. I mentioned from the books of, Sunni and Shia. He says, I'm here, come and help me. They didn't come. It's a matter of death and life, right? The iman should be there to support. It's not a joke. 5 people from the enemies, they promised that we're going to, in that situation and that chaos, they promised that we're going to go kill Rasulullah. Okay, imagine Rasulullah in the middle of the battlefield, right? Very close. Everybody's attacking him. They want to kill him. He is the focal point, right? They want to get rid of him. So only few people, maybe 5, 6 people around him, they're defending him. The entire enemies are attacked. 5 people, they promised that we're going to go kill him. And the history is narrating their names. One is Abdullah al-Shahab. He was one of those people that he hurt the forehead of Rasulullah. He broke the forehead of Rasulullah, right? You see, the history is going to the details. Utbat ibn Abi Waqqas, with 4 stones that he threw to Rasulullah, he broke the teeth of the Rasulullah. This Islam came to us, we have it, not because Rasulullah went there, everything was so good and nice and calm at the beginning, from the beginning to the end. Look what happened. The same Rasulullah in Ta'if, if you remember where they said, in Ta'if, when he went there, they stoned him again, they broke his forehead. Okay. Third, Ibn Layth, he hurt the face of Rasulullah so severely that the helmet of Rasulullah, they had some small chains, right? The circle chains here. They were pierced into the cheeks of Rasulullah, the face of Rasulullah. They couldn't take it out until after the war. It needed some sort of, surgery to come out. The same Rasulullah, rahmatan lil alamin, the same one who came to support, the same one that this Quran and Salat, that sometimes we miss, sometimes not, God forbid, we don't pay attention to it, came because of these people, a number of shuhada, a number of people who were martyred for the sake of this deen and religion to be safely given to us. We're responsible for all those things that happened to these people at that time, right? We're going to answer this. Now, before Abdullah Hamid, when he attacked, he was killed before he reached Rasulullah. He was killed by Abu Dujana, one of those few people around Rasulullah. And Abi Khalaf was also killed by Rasulullah himself. Abi Khalaf, when he attacked Rasulullah, he had a spear, he attacked him. He got a little bit injured, not severely to die. When they were taking him back, he was still alive. He was so nervous and stressed. It was like, that's okay. It's not a bad injury. You're gonna survive. He says, no. In Mecca, I told Muhammad that I'm gonna kill you. He said, no, indeed, I am going to kill you. And I know he's telling the truth. I know I'm gonna die out of this. So if you knew he's so trustworthy and telling the truth, why you're fighting with him? This add into their issues and crimes that you know that you're afraid because what he said is going to come true, but you're fighting with this Muhammad Amin according to you. You're fighting with Rahmatan lil Alamin, right? So if we believe that Rasulullah is telling the truth from the A to Z of Ahkam of Islam, we shouldn't pick selectively. Well, this part I'm going to practice. This part I'm in the United States, take it easy, Maulana. That part is okay. That part my children can practice, so that should be fine. If this is Rasulullah, if he got the wahy and revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if it's all in Islam, the deen is not selectively be chosen, right? We need to follow whatever came to us. Otherwise, this enemy, he said, I believe in him. He's telling the truth, but I'm not going to follow him. So what's going to be the difference between me as following him as Muslim and others who believed in him? Abu Sufyan, he said, I know that he's a prophet. But if I agree, if I say it, if I announce it before you become Muslim, that means the Bani Hashims are going to be ahead of Bani Umayyah. So I'm not announcing this, so we're going to be ahead of it. How am I following my deen? How much of this ahkam of Islam, the aqaid, I'm following in practice, in action, right? Doesn't matter. I'm living in the moon. I'm living in the United States, in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq. Doesn't matter. I'm next to Kaaba. Islam doesn't have a region, right? So different narrations are saying how many people they were there. Some names they came that we're going to mention. We talk about it. Like I said, less than 10 people is the most authentic version. Some people said 36 people were with Rasulullah, but it's not really authentic, 36 people to be Rasulullah, although the number of enemies on the other side, right? So one of the most important one, if you say victory after failure, it's true. Why? Because they attack to kill Rasulullah, but they were not able to kill Rasulullah. Why? Because of the sacrifice of a number of people, few soldiers. Number one, and the most important one is who? Amir al-Mu'minin, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. So he is actually, 26-year-old at that time. And he is very close to Rasulullah. He's next to Rasulullah to support and to correct. Ibn Abil Hadid, he says in the 608 of Hijri in Baghdad, I was with one of the greatest scholars of Ahlul Sunnah, of course, Muhammad ibn Mu'tada, I believe, Alavi. He said, I was reading from the book from Muhammad ibn Muslim. He said, I saw with my own eyes at that time, the Muslims were climbing the mountains and Rasulullah was calling them by their names. And it says, Filan and Filan. This piece of history, he's saying Rasulullah is Filan and Filan. He doesn't bring the name. He doesn't mention the name. You're betraying the history. You're a historian. You should bring and mention the name. Why you're removing the name? And Ibn Abil Hadid al-Mu'tazili, he's from Ahlul Sunnah himself. He's saying that I asked my Ustad, that the Ustad I was there, he said, he mentioned the name, who they were. He says, why did he didn't mention the name? He said, because of the respect. Because one, respect. Second, he was afraid of mentioning the name, who they were. They were killing them. We mentioned in the history of how many of these people were killed by showing some sort of respect to Amir al-Mu'minin. So, and the history is saying, although Rasulullah is so close to be killed, so close, but he never said anything to show he's afraid or no, strongly standing against this enemies, right? Amir al-Mu'minin is the closest one to him. He says, whenever you're getting too difficult, the war, he was protecting us. Rasulullah was protecting us. So he's not a prophet. He's not a leader that's sitting behind. Says, you guys go support me. And no, he's in the middle of the battlefield, right? Anyhow, so Ibn Athir is one of the greatest, scholars, historians of Ahlul Sunnah. He's narrating that they were attacking the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from different directions. Group of people from different directions are attacking Rasulullah, right? And then Imam Rasulullah is ordering Ali to go fight with them, this group, that group, this group, that group, and he's killing some, and the others will get a skirt and they run away, right? And they know who is Amir al-Mu'minin, by the way. So, and he's saying, because of his bravery and sacrifice, Jibreel came, he's saying it, not our books. Because of this, Jibreel came and told the Prophet that this is the highest level of sacrifice and ithar that Ali should do. It's the highest. Why? Because this is death in front of you. Group of people, how many thousand of people are in Gaza, right? They're attacking you. What is the most important thing for us is what? Our nafs, our life. Hubb zat, scholars are calling it, right? Love of nafs, love of self. If something being thrown to you slightly, what would you do? Without noticing, you try to protect yourself, right? That much would. You should love your life. We love our nafs, right? What is above that someone can sacrifice himself or herself for the sake of Allah? It's just that iman that does this. And Rasulullah answered to Jibreel, yes, I am from Ali and Ali is from me. It's a very familiar statement, right? Husaynun minni, Allahumma innaha minni wa ana minha. She is Fatima sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. She is from me, I am from. Why he didn't say these things about anybody else? We're analyzing history, right? When you put these pieces together, we don't need any other proof. He is from me, I'm from him, right? And then they heard this voice, not just them, everybody else, but this voice is coming and saying that, La fata illa Ali, la sayf illa Zulfaqar. The Jawan Mard that is showing the sacrifice and Isar is only Ali. And the sword, that sword that is doing the job is only Zulfaqar of Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salatu wasalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. How many times we should have a proof? In Laylatul Mabit, he's sleeping in the bed of Rasulullah, that he is so close to be killed, right? In the house of Rasulullah, we talk about it. He flew from Medina, from Mecca to Medina, right? Who slept in the bed of Rasulullah? That Rasul says one breath of Ali is better than what? Ibadat of Taqalayn. How many times? We're going to be more shocked in the other facts that are coming. Ibn Hisham is saying, again, another historian, right? Not from us. Counted 22 casualties from the enemies. 12 of them were killed by who? We kill you, Hussein, because all these people are related, by the way. uncles, cousins, third cousins, second, they're all connected, right? We mentioned in battle, Badr, if you remember. So if half of them were killed by Amir al-Mu'mineen, right? Of course they're going to hate him. Of course they're not going to let him have a power. Of course they want to do something against him. Of course Bani Umayyah is going to come and hate him and to say, do the la'an of Ali on the member. Right? See, now we're getting closer. So what happened here in this history? All of a sudden, some people were against Amir al-Mu'mineen with no reasons. No. Because Ali did what he was supposed to do. But the prejudiceness of this family ties and all this tribal, connection is still in that heart that is not, there's no iman there yet. قالت الأعراب آمنا. Quran says, Arab says we have iman. Allah says, no, you don't have iman, you have Islam. If you have iman, you don't do this against these people. I wish I could go more openly, to be honest, to talk in details. I can't, we have to, broadcast and everything. So anyhow, Abu Sufyan took advantage. Here's the thing, another point. So Muslims got defeated, right? I just want you to remember. So Rasulullah is in the middle of the battlefield. If some people says the ashab of Rasulullah, companion, they're all great. We can't say anything to any of them. There's some great sahabi, amazing sahabi. We're going to talk a lot about them, men and women, by the way. Among these few people, we're going to mention her name, Amr. Among this, one of them was one of the ladies. She came, we're going to talk about it, right? To support, and she was supporting. Amazing sahabi and companion of Rasulullah we had. But the majority ran away. This, this surah munafiqun, surah hypocrites, and all these things, and ayat, who are they about? So he's saying, come and help those. Some they thought, he was killed, but one of the sahabi came to say to the others, why you don't go to the battlefield? It says, Muhammad is killed. He says, Muhammad is killed. The God of Muhammad is not killed. So even if Muhammad is killed, you have to go support Islam. What is this? He's killed, so let's Islam. Anyhow, so Abu Sufyan, very cunning people, right? He took advantage of the failure of Muslims and he started targeting now to defeat the beliefs of Muslims. To target the beliefs of Muslims. Okay? So he started saying some sort of, poetry that Lat and Uzza are A'la, they're the highest one. You see, we are the winner because we're worshiping them. You're the losers because now worshiping them, right? Now he's attacking. This is worse than the swords and the spears, right? Because it's penetrating the hearts of those who are not having full iman yet. And Rasulullah immediately said to chant that Allahu A'la wa Ajal, Allahu A'la wa Ajal. Not all Muslims are saying Allah wa Ajal. No, our failure is not because of our belief system. Our failure, right? Our failure is because the mistake that they did in the battlefield, right? He started saying that نَحْنُ لَنَا الْعُزَّى وَلَا عُزَّى لَكُمْ. That idol, that big Uzza, is for us, is not for you guys. Rasul said to say it, Allahu maulana wa la maula lakum. The same rhythm, right? No, our guardian, our Mawla is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you don't have any Mawla. Starting, not losing anything yet. And then attacking the attack of the what? The mushrikeen that they want to attack. Your enemies in deen of your faith, which they're targeting your faith. They are targeting your iman, the ways that you cannot even imagine. They're targeting the iman of your children, the way that you cannot imagine, and you are facilitating the path of the iman of your children be attacked and destroyed. I have to say this. One of the best ways is through the social media and movies and all these things. That we are opening, turn on, let's watch this. This is cartoon, this is something as well. But you're not aware that hours and hours were spent behind the scene to create something to brainwash yourself and your children. The easiest part is to desensitize you and your children about Islam. So if someone attacks someone, oh, yeah, very bad thing. No, they shouldn't. You see how enemies are taking advantage? So you are the winner, so leave. No. We want all Muslims. They did it actually. And this is happening. We mentioned in Muharram, if you remember, Imam Hussein, he's not fighting with Yazid. Who is he fighting? What is he fighting with? Who knows? We talk about it. What is he fighting with? He's fighting with the culture of Bani Umayyah and Yazid. And that culture is not the culture of Yazid only, it's the culture of Namrud. It's the culture of Fir'aun. It's coming down and it doesn't stop in Karbala. It's the culture of Namrud and Fir'aun of our times as well. Ila yawm al-qiyamah, it will be until the zuhur of our Imam Mahdi alayhi salatu wasalam. Inshallah, we'll take care of that. So they're attacking. This culture is there. They're attacking your iman. They're penetrating, and they do. Dajjal, one of the things that came to my mind, tell you, Dajjal, if you read the description of Dajjal, that is going to come against Imam Mahdi, like, he has one eye, he eats as big as the mountains. So we don't have such a human being. So Dajjal is not a human being. Dajjal is a culture. He doesn't get full whatever he eats. In a human being, you have this one eye here. It's a culture that doesn't get full until it destroys you and your iman. We got to be careful. This flood that is approaching all of us, we got to be very careful. Our children go to schools outside 8 hours a day. MashaAllah. What are they learning? 2 times 2, 4. What else? Are you aware? Do you know? Now, the non-Muslims are coming out. There are videos, clips. They're coming out and protesting against, complaining against what's going on. What are you teaching our children? So we've got to be careful more. So not that one time, God forbid, when it's late, no, please. This so and so. Muslims had 70 shaheed. 70 shaheed. And them only how many? 22. A lot of injured. A lot. 70 shaheed. So one of these people that another one beside Amir al-Mu'minin, his name is Abu Dujana. That he did a great job as well. Nasikh al-Tawarikh, the book Nasikh al-Tawarikh, he mentioned that something that it's not 100% authentic. We don't know exactly if it's authentic or not, but he narrated in Nasikh al-Tawarikh that while Amir al-Mu'minin and Rasulullah fighting, Abu Dujana approached, and Rasulullah says, Abu Dujana, I took my bay'ah, my allegiance from you. You can go, leave. Ali, no, he has to stay here. He's with me. He has to stay, but you can go, right? He started crying. He says, so where should I go? Go to my wife? Go to my house? He started crying, no, let me stay. And Rasulullah said, let me stay, right? So, another great name, before, of course, not in this scenario, but in the Battle of Uhud, it was Hamza, Sayyid al-Shuhada, the uncle of Rasulullah. He's one of the greatest figure of the history of Islam. When Abu Jahl, he attacked Rasulullah in Mecca when he was in Mecca, he attacked and he disrespected Rasulullah. He was out of Mecca. Hamza, he was not Muslim yet. He came inside. Everybody was scared of him. They were hunting lions. His title was Hunter of Lion. So he came in, he realized what happened to him. He came in, he broke the head of Abu Jahl. Abu Jahl is a big name. So who Mecca supporting him? No one could say anything to support Rasulullah, right? He's a big supporter of Rasulullah. So in the battle, we mentioned last session that they brought a lot of people and a lot of skilled slaves. One of those slaves were who? Wahshi bin Harb. He's Habashi, he's an expert in Zubin, in spears, to throw spears. Hind Who is Hind? Mother of Muawiyah. Wife of? MashaAllah, you see how the generation is pure, right? So she told who? She told Wahshi. 3 names. Kill either of one, you're free to go. Freedom, you know how much you're worth? 3 names. Either Muhammad or Ali or Hamza. What did we say last session? Why not other names? Meaning that these 3 are the most important one in Islam. You're heading the heads, right? And as long as the head is there, the most important are there, it's not the time for any other people. Either Hind is saying, she's in the house of Abu Sufyan, Kufr. They know what's going on in Islam, right? Amir is 26-year-old. Others are 50, 60, much, in the society, rich. He doesn't have anything, Amir al-Mu'minin. When he came for, we asked him the 2 sessions ago, he asked to ask for Hazrat Fatima for marriage. He didn't have anything. He just had one, shield that he sold. But what they were afraid of him, that it says either Ali. So the Wahshi said, well, Muhammad, I can't touch him because all his companions are around. Ali, I can't get close to him. He knows everything and everywhere in the war. He sees everywhere. Hamza, I can't possibly. Why? Because he gets so angry and in wrath, I can take advantage of him. And he did. He ambushed behind the trees or whatever stones they had. And where he was so, into the war, he from behind attacked and he threw his spears and he hit the bottom part of Hamza and fell down. So here is how horrible are these people. Who is the Hind again? We know that one, right? She ordered Wahshi. She said, take out the liver of Hamza. She took out the liver of Hamza, right? And she started biting it. Get this hatred towards Islam, right? She started biting the liver of Hamza. Not only Hamza, I have to say it's a piece of history, and to other shuhada as well, got some part of them, and she made a bracelet out of them. Who was she? Yeah. She made a bracelet out of this. So if she's doing this, what do you expect from her grandson in Karbala? Now it makes sense, right? Her title became after that Akilatul Akbad. The eaters or the one who eats the livers. Who would do that? Even Abu Sufyan, when he heard, he says, oh, I don't approve that, but I'm not that sad about it. So let's call these people, no, mashallah, they become Muslim and everything else. And this hit Rasulullah so badly. When he came after the war with Muslims, and he saw his uncle that he loved the most, he saw imagine, just picture it. Part of it's against the Jawal Mahdi of Arab even to do that. The deceased one, even the enemies, you have to respect it. You have to bury them. What she did, imagine what happened to Rasulullah. He became so angry, and Muslims around. And it says, because of what they did here to Hamza, we're going to kill 30, or another narration says 90, 80 of them do the same exactly. Hamza is right where Ayah Quran came. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Surah An-Nahl says, وَإِنْ عَاقَبْتُمْ فَعَاقِبُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا عُوقِبْتُمْ بِهِ وَلَئِنْ صَبَرْتُمْ لَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لِلصَّابِرِينَ. If you want to take a revenge, do exactly 30. Nicely. Don't let your emotions to drive you. This is Deen of Islam. How amazing, right? Idalat, justice. But if you have patience, it's better for you. It's better for you. Rasul said, Ya Allah, I will be among the patients. Forget about it. It's the same Wahshi. Who was Wahshi? The one who killed. When the conquest of Mecca, he ran away to Ta'if, And then when Taif was Muslim, they became Muslim as well. Then he heard that they accept the Islam of everyone. He came to Medina. He did the Shahadatain. He says, a Muslim converted to Islam. Rasul says, so you are Wahshi bin Harb. You did that. He said, yes. He said, tell me how you did it. He narrated, and so became so hurt by what he said, how he killed Hamza. And he says, get away from me, from my eyes. I don't want to see you. Rahmatan lil alamin said that. You're a Muslim, I'm not. Look at how much patience, and he doesn't kill him, by the way, right? He has the power to do that. The one who killed his uncle, the Muslim, says, now that you're Muslim, I forgive you. You're Muslim, go, but I don't want to see you anymore. SubhanAllah. That shows how much he was hurt by this, right? So these are coming by the orders of who to hurt Rasulullah. Anyhow, so it's not over yet. The night that Muslims, I have to say to finish inshallah because next session will be the 4th of Hijr. So that night, I have to tell you another one. Yes, Amir is one of the ladies among these few people I told you, everybody ran away. She's one of those who stood. The jihad, the war in Islam for women are haram. They don't have to come to, they shouldn't come for the battlefield with this. So, but some of these ladies were coming to support, to help for the injured, you know, everybody else like being the nurse and bring water sometimes for them. She's one of those. She came, she was helping and supporting. When she saw everybody's running away, Rasul is alone in the battlefield, all the men are running away, Ashbahu Rijal. She said, no, I have to. She found a sword, she started fighting with the enemies, and she killed a lot of them. This is Islam. So with her sons, there's a son, her son is there as well. So he's supporting Rasulullah. So one of the enemies came and hurt the son, and then she was looking for who did it. Rasulullah in that middle, she said, he told her, that guy over there, right? She went and killed that guy. Rasulullah became so happy. And the history is saying, he smiled that you could see the teeth of Rasulullah. He started laughing. This is what she's doing, the bravery of her, that she's not scared of the enemy. She's there. This is death again. The men ran away on the mountains. What's going on? She's in the battlefield to support it. The iman doesn't have men or women. It's here in the heart. When iman comes, she's supporting, right? She got injured on her shoulder so badly that for 1 year she had the scar and she had, having issue with that. So that's the iman that we see. Another one, very quickly, another lady, she came and she had her husband, son, and a brother killed in this battle. She had she put the bodies on the camels to bring to Medina, and they asked her, what happened with Rasul? She said, Alhamdulillah, Rasul is alive. Forget about anything else. Her family are behind the camp. Everybody else, the iman is there, right, to support. Anyhow, so Muslim very quickly came back to Medina, hundreds of injured, 70 of they killed, right? Rasulullah namaz zuhr, he couldn't stand up. He sat down, sitting down, he had the salat zuhr and asr. But now they came back to Medina. It's not done yet. What if they attack us? Now that we got defeated, right? What if they attack us? And what if the Jews and the hypocrites of Medina started causing the chaos? So Rasulullah, he did a strategic, decision here. He said to announce that the army will go out tomorrow to follow the enemies. They're defeated, right? They have a lot of injured, 70 killed. Says, we're going to go out follow them. They went and they followed them. And he said, only those who participate in Uhud can come with us. What does it tell you? What do you get from it? Why? Why only those? So some group of men, they didn't come to support Rasulullah. Abdullah ibn Ubay, the hypocrite of Medina, he didn't come to this group. Why? Rasul says only those ones. What it comes to your mind?
He doesn't trust them.
Why? Why not? This is war. Think about the strategy. This is a strategic decision.
Because the people who stay, they have a good iman, and
That's not a strategy. That's a spiritual strategy. So
Betray him.
he showed he's giving this respect only to this is the daraja. This is fazl. This is attribute. Only those who can come with us. So that means that he's punishing those who didn't come. So for next time, only those. He's teaching them something for next time, right? And he's respecting those who came. So Rasulullah, he left with the group. Himself is injured. He left the Medina to, he put Ibn Maktoum, his successor in Medina. Even for that short period of time, he said, we need to have a successor, right? I don't want to go to details. So, and he left Medina to Hamra al-Asad, to the area Hamra al-Asad, right? He went there. There's a guy, title of Khuzai, the head of the tribe of Khuzai. He helped us. He's not Muslim. He helped Rasulullah a lot. So he went to the camp of Abu Sufyan. So he had not left yet, to the camp of Abu Sufyan. And he talked to him, he realized that he's going to attack Medina. So I'm going to attack and I want to destroy the rest of them. See how Rasulullah, he knew what's going to happen, right? Although they were defeated, the armies and everything, no. So he started talking, this guy, that was not even Muslim, talking to Abu Sufyan. He said, Abu Sufyan, this Muhammad is in Hamra al-Asad with many strong soldiers. Even those, he's saying, even those who didn't come with him in Uhud, they are with him to fight. And he said, I saw faces, never seen, faces full of wrath and anger, that they regretted what they did and mistakes in Uhud if you attack her. So he said, it was just, okay, so we're going to go back to Mecca, right? Strategy of Rasulullah. If he didn't come out, they were attacking Medina and the Hafiz Islam, right? Anyhow, so he decided not to come attack and he left. Therefore, the battle of Uhud ended in the 14th of Shawwal, starting the 7th, 14th of Shawwal of the 3rd of Hijri. And in the 3rd of Hijri also we have the Wiladat of our beloved Imam Hassan alayhi salatu wassalam. That has its own history, inshallah. We'll mention it in the history of Ahlul Bayt as well, inshallah. So as you can see, so how many things, just quickly looking at the life of Rasulullah from different angles, what happened, the scenario and situation when he came back to the house of Zahra, all those things are still in his face, in his beard and blood and everything. So Amir al-Mu'minin brought the water. She's taking care of Rasulullah. What happens to the heart of Zahra to see her father, Ummi Abiha, right? To see the mother of her father, to see the face of Rasulullah, this scenario and situation, and her husband on the other side, and how much he has caught and injuries in his body, but she's taking care of Rasulullah. So this deen, brothers and sisters, that is in our hand, this Quran, this namaz, this qibla that you're sitting towards, this qibla, came to us with a lot of cost. Khun and blood of shuhada. How many mothers were suffered while losing their family members? How many children they lost their fathers and brothers because of this Quran that we have in us? We are responsible. We have the haqq. They have the haqq over us. We have to be careful. So inshallah, with the barakat of inshallah Islam and Quran, we'll be able to follow that and be appreciated towards this. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa Muhammadin ma'ajjal farajhum. Allahumma ajjal waliyaka al-faraj wal-afiyata wal-nas wa mudda fi umrihi al-sharif wa zayyan al-arض bi baqa'ih waj'alna min a'wanihi wa ansarihi wa shi'atihi ya Rahman ya Rahim thabbit qulubana ala dinik بحق الحسين hasten the dhuhr of our Imam Mahdi. Let us and our generation be among those who provide and hasten, inshallah, the path of the zuhur of our Imam. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those who have hajat and requests, especially my dear brothers and sisters, Muhammad wa Muhammad, give them their khair hajat. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, let us be appreciative towards the Islam, Quran, by acting upon a'mal and the surat and orders of Islam. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those who are under difficulties around the world, provide opportunities for their freedom. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, those who are sick, Bahaqqa Muhammad wa Muhammad, cure them at this moment, those who passed away from the community, Marhumeen, Marhuman, Marhum Hashim, especially Marhum Amir Ali, son of Fajid Ali. Inshallah, send a reward and thawab from our gathering and amal to the soul. Inshallah, Rahimallah man yaqra'u al-Fatihata ma'a as-salawat.
صل على محمد وآل محمد.